And now, your News 13 Skywatch weather.
It is going to get very interesting around here. We haven't had a significant winter storm in years, folks, so get prepared now. If you haven't already, start thinking about how you're going to avoid travel at some point Friday, because it's not going to be pretty, I can tell you that. Hunter Subaru Skycam Network. We have the calm before the storm again. It's cold but dry. Temperatures in the 20s. It was a beautiful sunset across the French Broad River Valley. But here comes our winter storm tomorrow. It starts pretty early in the day, especially if you're west of I-26. This is when we think it'll start, between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. for the first flakes to fly in our southern and southwestern mountain valleys here, and as well into the high elevations. So that includes Haywood County and Transylvania County, Oconee, Pickens County, west of there into Jackson and Macon and Swain and Graham and Clay. Then we start to shift everything east, and by 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I should say, we got it up to the I-26 corridor in terms of the snow beginning and some of the sleet farther south of 85, and that extends into some of our foothill communities as well. Thereafter, into the early afternoon, it moves into the other side of the foothills and into the Piedmont, affecting Charlotte and Hickory, and even eventually Greensboro and Winston-Salem. So if you are traveling east tomorrow, you better get out early in the day to avoid that snow. All right, 7 a.m., nothing to be found in terms of snow just yet, but temperatures are cold, way below freezing. That's where we start. And it doesn't look like temperatures will get above freezing for many tomorrow. It's going to be a struggle all day. Look at this, 9 a.m. We already got snow showing up over some of the high elevations south and west of Asheville, just on time. And then moving about by 11 a.m. to the I-26 corridor, and maybe even farther east of that as we get into the foothills by lunchtime. And look at the dark blue in here. That's probably where some of the heavier snow bands will set up. Southern valleys, southwestern mountains into the northern upstate and south of I-40 initially. Then everything continues to move on, and even after sunset, it's still snowing in many cases, but by 11 o'clock into the late evening and early overnight, it's winding down rather quickly, but notice temperatures are below freezing still. And that means all those icy and snow-covered roads will stay that way if they're untreated. And then into the morning, we get on the backside of the system quickly on Saturday morning. Probably some snows back over the high elevations and closer to and along the Tennessee state line. That might add up a little more for you if you're in those higher elevations. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some accumulation there. So winter storm timeline, we expect most of the accumulation in the afternoon and early evening for Asheville and Burnsville and Brevard. Earlier in the day for you, though, in Franklin, if you're down there, you got that snow adding up quickly early in the afternoon, and then by late evening wrapping up possibly as a little wintry mix of sleet. More accumulation into the late afternoon, early evening for Hendersonville and as well Marion and Rutherfordton. So take a look at the differences in models. I know I've been showing you this all week and how much snow could add up. The most likely solution on the Euro now has about 4 inches for Asheville, with the high end around 5. And the GFS is very close to that, 4 inches as well, most likely for Asheville, with a high end of 6. Now you see why we've opened the range up a little more. We get better data, and now we think 3 to 6 is going to be pretty common in the dark blue. That's going to be the majority of the valleys below 3,500 feet. You get down into the upstate, you get out into the foothills, it's going to mix a little bit at times with sleet possibly. That cuts down totals 2 to 4 inches there north of 85. Big snows, though, in the higher elevations over western North Carolina. 6 to 8 pretty common in the Balsams, and along the Pisgah Ridge we could see 8 to 12 over the Smokies. It's cold, yeah, barely to freezing or above Friday and Saturday, so refreezing at night means more black ice issues on the roads through the weekend. We will get more of a melt on into Sunday, Monday as temperatures climb well above freezing and we have more sunshine.